Okay, welcome back to Docklands, Melbourne, where we're all set for the final of the 2025 FIP Silver Melbourne Game4PADEL Open. We've got a couple of great pairs in action here. It's going to be an exciting game, but first of all, I'll reintroduce my co-commentator, Matthew Burrell. Welcome, Matty.
Thanks, Rob. In for a treat here. Dutch pair we saw recently, went home to the hotel, had a little break, come back freshened up, ready to take on the Brits who they faced in Sydney, and went down. Amy Gibson serving first.
And that one's just long. So the British pair winning Sydney, but I think that one might have been against Carla and Nerea. The different result from the semi-finals. There, the Dutch pair got their revenge, which they were pretty pleased with. I had a quick chat to them before. They thought they played a good match, switched up the tactics well after losing the first set, and they were saying they got a little bit more aggressive, but it was very much controlled aggression. They were really just trying to maintain that net. So they were pretty pleased, and they think they're in with a good shot here against the informed British team.
Nice lob again from Marcella.
Got a bit of extra pace on that then than Catherine was expecting. And this is our first time seeing the British girls on the centre court here on the live stream. So be good for everyone to have a good look, because we did just hear not long ago that the result here making the final has got Amy, who's serving at the moment, the lefty, into the top 100 in the world. The first ever British player to be in the top 100 in paddle, which is an incredible effort, Matty.
Landmark moment. Shout out also to the coach of Great Britain, who's stayed up. It's probably 2 in the morning at the moment over there, 2 or 3 in the morning. That savage slice there from Marcella Ludicows.
Imagine there'd be a few people up at the moment. Got the kettle on. A couple of biscuits ready to dunk and stay awake and enjoy the...
Not sure if it's biscuits or it's red wine on Saturday night in Deutschland right now.
This is
Town
true.
right now.
Well, maybe
in the UK.
Encourage people to call in, perhaps, and let us know.
Let us know your poison.
And just, yeah, we've got a little bit of a drip down. We had it's for anyone just tuning in for the finals, we had an incredibly big storm come through for the semi-finals. Just really kicked in right at the end of the semi-final between Marcella and Bo and Nerea and Carla, the Spanish pair. And it was big. There was lightning, there was thunder, and we had a few delays with the men's semi-finals, but we got through. The rain stopped for the moment. It's very still, not a breath of wind, so we should get some good paddle here, and I think probably some strategic slow paddle, Matty, might be the...
I don't know if that's a modus operandi of these any of these 4 players. They're all very strong ex-tennis players, very good volleyers, very aggressive, all want to dominate from the net. And again, that stat I made up a couple of days ago where 80% of points are won from the net, Rob, may come into play again here, I think. So
no fact-checking has come through yet on that, so you're sound.
Consider a fact
it's
checked.
correct.
Yeah. But it's a race to the net for these girls. Although Marcella's got that fantastic lob, which she used very effectively against Nerea in the last match in the semi-finals.
She certainly did. It's going to be hard to put the ball away now, though. It's getting heavy. This is pretty thick air and heavy paddle conditions. Humidity does make it hard to put the ball away, and
just dropping off that back wall a little bit. It's hard to trust that right now with the rain around. I think they're going to get used to it.
Yeah, which is actually incredibly unusual at Docklands. I can only think of one time in the past 2 years where we've had that enough humidity and enough people around, and
Hot
all
air
of
from the
factors.
commentators.
A lot of hot air from the commentary box, which is, I imagine, contributing significantly. But it doesn't happen often here because of the open size, but it's definitely, there's a bit of condensation around at the moment.
Catherine going a little bit long there. Early nerves. Wonderful two-hander as well. Great flick from Amy Gibson, just not quick enough there.
The power from Bo. She really swung that last semi-final on its head when she started getting a little bit more aggressive, and that great controlled smash down the line.
That's my favourite shot of Bo's there again. She's absolutely rips that Vibora cross court into Amy's corner there.
So no problems to start with for the servers. Both pairs, sorry, holding serve easily. So we're at 1-all. Catherine serving.
To Bo Ludicals, as they've been told how to pronounce it properly now. And Mosella, did you say Coic? How do you pronounce that?
I think Kirk. I'm making that up, of course, but I believe it's something like that. We do need to work on our pronunciation. We're not
the brightest here in Australia.
We're not the
languages, are we?
We're not
the brightest sparks.
Exposed to too many of the European pronunciations. We're a long way away from Europe, and we get a little bit lazy.
We definitely do. Concentration, a great lob from that's that shot again. Bo goes down both wings with that. Another beautiful lob from Amy. Marcelo returns a great lob as well. Choose the half volley there.
That's a amazing defense from Marcella. Good control at the net though from Catherine and Amy.
That's a lovely little change in direction there from Catherine Rose, who of course came out last year with a partner to Australia, a regular out here.
That's right, it was Hannah Maddock last year.
It was. It was, Rob.
I think they made it through to the semi-finals last year. She's gone one step further, partnering up with Amy now. They've had a bit of success at the end of last year, end of 2024. I think they had a good win in a FIP tournament, and they've started the year in style.
No better start to the year than 61 points is a Rob for 62 points for taking out a FIP silver now with a new point system. Increased prize money, increased points. Players love that.
Absolutely.
Promoters, organisers love it. Brings the best players out.
It certainly does. And that'll, obviously we've spoken about Amy's success in breaking through to the top 100 just by making the final here. But if they're successful and they go back to back, that's 120 points for Catherine as well. You'd think she'd be knocking on the door of the top 100 as well. So huge start to the year for the British girls, and it's showing that the investment in the sport in the UK is paying off. They're definitely a few years ahead of Australia, but probably not too many, Maddie, you wouldn't think?
Yeah, so the numbers are interesting there. They're exactly 3 years ahead in terms of courts and clubs there. So the Brits doubled from around 40 to 80, and then 3 years ago, then 80 to about 170 courts, and then went 170 to 400, and now they're knocking up towards a 600-700 number by the end of this year projected. So that's big numbers. Australia's moved from 32 courts, I think it was, at the end of last year. The year before last year, and finished last year, as in a couple of weeks ago, at 62 courts, if we count Brisbane in there, which are completing right now. And then, so our trajectory is very similar. These countries seem to double. USA had a very similar trajectory. And suddenly when you get, I don't know, up over 100 courts, it seems that everyone who plays on those courts end up wanting to build a club themselves, and then it spreads like wildfire.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to think that we may follow that trend here and have that sort of growth over the next couple of years. We certainly hope so. And certainly hope it can help with the player development in the way it has clearly with the UK, although UK probably having a couple more advantages being so close to Spain and Europe and such a hub for paddle, but it's nice to have a look at the top UK girls and see that they're doing so well and making so many inroads.
Could have made a nicer pair of girls as well. In fact, all the players here have been very relaxed and really opening to talk to all the other players and the administrators.
Oof, that's a big smash.
It's a huge sack. Bo's really unleashing early on here, which is good to see.
She is.
She saved that up for the second set in the semi-finals. Now she's built the confidence on the same court here, so it's good familiarity for the Dutch pair. Wow, great block there. Everyone's sitting big right now with the, unexpectedly actually, with the new balls, but seems to be working. All four players very aggressive, so no one's going to back off here, Rob, and play defense, I don't think. It's going to be
that's good. We'll see what happens when the balls start to wear in a little bit, but it's a good start from both teams on serve. Plenty of power, and there's another one. Marcella pops it out without too many issues. Got an incredible smash, Marcella.
She's got a great hit rate on excuse me, hit rate on that. Doesn't miss too many of those.
She does.
Shorter lobs.
So Marcella probably the most distinguished tennis player as well as paddle player on the court as far as rankings go. She got around the top 300 in the world. We know Bo and Amy both had world rankings as well. So there's some good tennis talent on court. Catherine, a very good junior tennis player from the UK. And they've all made the transition beautifully to paddle.
What a great shot from Amy Gibson there. Just changed direction well, Rob. Common thread when you're playing at this level.
That's
punching it middle and swing it wide.
It's a good shot for the lefty as well, that one. The side spin into the cage or the glass down the line. It's a tricky one to get back.
Hugs the cage, doesn't it, Rob? It tends to hug the cage down there.
It does. It does.
Nice shot again there from Bo. Just settling into the first set here, 2-all, 15-all. Great scoring, Rob.
I'm going to
ball this time.
I'm going to endeavour to stay on top of it for this one, Maddie. I know I do get sidetracked. You're always providing some very interesting analysis and commentary, and it's captivating, and it can put me off my game a little bit with the scoring, but I'll there's a lot at stake here, so I'll try and step up a little bit. This is a good point. Again, Marcella's lobbing, so that's a good change of pace from Catherine.
Marcella electing not to come forward when Amy. So Catherine there set up for the smash. Prefers to stand back and block it. Keep the lobs coming.
We know these two pairs have been practicing together a bit for the since they arrived in Melbourne. They obviously didn't get the chance to play each other in Sydney, but they've been on court together. They haven't played a competitive match together yet in a tournament. This is the first time. As Bo just misses that overhead, doesn't quite get onto that. So it'll be interesting. They'll know each other's games from practice, but it's always very different in a real tournament.
Very different, mate. I'm known to have a really good practice Vibora that tends to disappear in a real match. Back to myself just for a second.
I think, yeah, no, that's what the people want. It's
you've
been a bit modest there as well, mate. You got a lovely Vibora. We should probably talk about it more. Big point here. That's going to die.
Well done.
Good weight from Bo there. Just.
Amy serving now.
Just getting a bit of
good deep serve.
Great serve.
Just clip that glass where there's a bit of dew potentially, Rob, there. That could have slid out, but it does happen anyway. When you've got lefty serving into that corner, I know from playing you every now and then, that tends to stick in that corner there.
Yeah, it can be difficult to dig out if you get it right, particularly if there is a little bit of condensation on the glass. It's going to make it hard to return off the side glass a little bit. But it's pretty evenly placed at the moment, Matty, and I'm just probably interested in your thoughts as well on the growth of the game in the UK. As you mentioned, you would think the UK would have similar sort of building requirements and planning requirements and permits as Australia. So do you think it's sort of possible that Australia can follow at that rate? Because it's definitely accelerated over the past 12 months in the UK, possibly beyond what a lot of people were expecting. So how do you see that playing out in Australia, just with our slightly different environment?
There's just such a backlog, and you're right that the conditions for gaining approval through councils in the UK is very similar to Australia, except in Australia you've got a few extra elements here of rust with the coastlines. Not that there's no rust in the UK, but when you add sun and rust in, not to mention with the structures of the glass and the steel, it's a long journey through councils in Australia. Around 2 years now, I'd imagine, roughly, from go to woe.
Yeah.
To get going in terms of getting into build phase.
And there's also probably at this stage just not quite the awareness at a council level of the sport and what it is. I think there's a bit more noise around pickleball and obviously a bit less involved in the construction as well. So you'd think maybe the UK has overcome that lack of knowledge a little bit, and they're seeing an acceleration. So that's definitely something we hope.
That's a great point, Rob. There's a critical mass argument there, which is right on, because councils, once enough councils get a few applications in and they talk between themselves, they end up knowing what's coming down the line when they see a paddle application. Looks like an alien's landed right now in Australia when the application goes in. Not sure how to deal with it. But luckily we have Google and a few other resources these days so councils can see what's going on.
Yeah,
we're not building high rises here, are we? It shouldn't be that hard, to be honest.
No, it's very different. I mean, most councils in Australia are very supportive of anything that gets people active and playing sport and recreation. So I think once the understanding of it spreads a little bit, it'll open up. But it's interesting. We obviously, both being involved a little bit in that side of things. It's the conversations that I've had with councils. It's been a lot of, they seem to be very happy that you're bringing a solution to them for getting people active, rather than bringing a problem, which can happen with other sports that maybe don't have the funding and put the hand out a little bit for facilities. So they do like that part of it. But one of the bits of feedback I got was that we had a great solution, but they didn't feel they had a problem. So they just need to know that they have a problem as well as a solution, I think.
So you create the problem, Roberts. It's borderline genius, actually. You fix a problem.
It's not often I get that sort of feedback, but I'll take it, Matty.
That's good. I'll put that in my little manual when I'm talking to councils. Wow,
yeah.
That's a great get on.
No, I think with pickleball obviously being the other emerging racket format, they're pretty vocal pickleball community out there, and people have got to play a lot on council facilities. So obviously they use a badminton court for pickleball. So there was plenty of pre-existing lines, so they were able to get a bit more of a groundswell, whereas paddle, it's purpose built, so much harder to get the facilities in the first place. But
that awareness you talked about, Rob, is really important in the council world. As soon as a few applications go through per council, they tend to. Australia's also very, very, very spread out. So unlike the UK, where you can get around the UK in a couple of hours here or there, generally, it's as big as the USA by landmass, Australia roughly. So it's a 5-hour flight from one side to the other. So there's a lot of little councils everywhere dotted around Australia. So it's a great fake from Bo there. There's a critical mass thing where you need to get it applications into council with success. Oh, that's in too.
It's dropped.
Well. Still a great lob there, Marcella. She's got the lobsters approval with those lobs.
It's high praise indeed. Oof,
Wow.
good defending. This is a big point.
Swung the lob the other direction there.
Yeah, that was a good change up. That enabled them to get the net. Catherine's very good at taking it early though.
She is. She's got a lovely roller half volley there that catches you off guard if you're a bit slower coming in. Yeah, there's just to sum it all up, Rob, there's a whole lot of hurdles in Australia that aren't in other countries, and it's a slow process at the beginning of any new sport like this. But it seems to get there, and you're right, we're on the right side of the recreation side of defence, mental health, green space, etc. Sport and recreation's an important piece now, post-COVID days, and generally getting kids out there off the screen devices, which we all know is the biggest issue, I think, at the moment with kids, and getting them out to play sport, getting out of the house a bit.
100%, and that probably ties in a little bit to what we were having a chat about yesterday with that next step for the sport in Australia, and looking at those youth development pathways, and obviously not just at the performance end of the scale, but just the numbers game, getting kids into playing paddle and enjoying the sport and starting to get those numbers up. So we've got a bigger base, and when you get a bigger base, you can do a lot more at every end of the game.
Starts with the parents, so as you said before, Rob, you've got to get the parents in, which means you need the clubs and courts to play on. Then the kids end up watching and then picking up a racket here and there, and then you've got to get the programs going through the schools, which is a piece I know a lot of the clubs here are working on now. Take a while to filter through. They had a recent Asian junior. There's that bow. Classic Vibora again.
It's your favourite shot of hers.
It is too. It's just a risky thing. If Amia jumped that or let the ball go pass through, it just aims directly in the corner. It's a bit of a guess which way it's all going to go. With that spin, it drops like a rock. So I certainly would be half following that, but I'm no defender, that's for sure.
And that's well played again from the Brits, but yeah, it's an interesting little challenge with the junior development, because as an operator, obviously it's very easy just to hire out your courts. There's a huge demand already in Australia, and
more
hiring out
supply,
the court,
right? Yep.
And I don't think that supply is going to catch up to the demand for another decade or so here. It's going to be a long time. So actually creating the opportunities where you don't just have to let people hire the courts and play themselves. It takes a bit of extra effort from operators, and you got to sometimes maybe put in the hard work and not make as much money. So that's something as a
give back a bit. Yep.
Yeah, as a nation that we need to really focus on.
Incredible defense there from Catherine. She gets down so low with that little half volley roller. It's a lovely shot to get the net back. Another classic 30-shot rally here again, Rob.
Yeah, this is...
Don't want to get fact-checked on that, but it's got to be up in the 30s now. Well, it's dropped in again.
Oh,
through the legs. This
no.
is Hollywood stuff happening.
Bit of razzle-dazzle. Oh,
wow.
What a point.
So that's great work from Catherine to
impressive stuff. Couldn't get much more evenly poised at the moment. They're long rallies going either way, going on serve. So we could be in for a treat this afternoon at the Docklands.
Big crowds filtered in, Rob. That's for sure.
It has. I think
rain's gone now. I think. Have you pulled the weather map out again?
It is clear now.
Calling that?
No, I'm going to call it without the map. I think the rain's gone. It's passed through. As I mentioned earlier, we didn't have the wind come with it, which is often what happens here, particularly in Docklands. It's renowned for being a bit of a windy spot.
Absolutely perfect conditions for the players out here. Visibility is good. We've got the best spot I would imagine here. I like calling these matches from behind the scenes here. You get a good player's perspective rather than the side view through the cage. How do you feel about that when you're watching matches, Rob? You prefer behind the glass on the back there, or do you like a side view through the cage?
Oh no, I think we got the best seats in the house here, Matty. That's part of the reason I agreed to do this. That and the massive paycheck that you've signed for me. Also factored in a little bit, but no, it's the best seat in the house. Good to see the players' perspective. You get a really good feel for the type of shots they're hitting, how thin they're hitting it over the net or how low they're hitting it, and the shot selection. Pretty lucky to get the seat here behind this court and get to watch this, and obviously we'll try and maintain our position. We won't get booted off the air for the men's final. I'm looking forward to that after this as well. But
Timmy Alanya might pop in and he's gone now. Robert Gaylor's been hovering around for a bit of a celebrity commentary and comedy session there. He's a good commentator though, Rob, isn't he?
He is. He's got a voice for radio, Rob. Very dulcet tones, smooth voice. Musician, great singer, bit of a performer. It's in his blood.
On and off the court.
Absolutely. So yeah, it'd be good to get Rob back in. There was some good insights from Rob yesterday.
That's a lovely little flick there from, oh wow. Lovely flick from Marcella. Didn't produce the goods in the end of the day though, so love 15. Looking to consolidate here on serve, but Britt's looking hungry at the moment.
Yeah, they've got to be careful here, Bo and Marcella. Don't want to drop the first 2 points in a game. All of a sudden, the whole mood shifts. They'll be under quite a bit of pressure if they go down love 30 at 3-4. It's a good pick up from Catherine. And nice defense from Bo.
Great defense from Catherine Rose again there. Quite clever tactic from Amy lobbing middle there.
Yep, that's a good change though from Marcella.
That's the savage Vibora again. Oh,
what
unbelievable
what
defense. Turn and deliver. Wow, Amy Gibson.
That is phenomenal. Stayed incredibly low and kept that one down just over the net, right through the middle, and love 30. This is the first real opportunity on serve that we've seen in the final.
I don't think Amy's going to be letting that go around the glass again. It's just in. Lovely control from Catherine again. Oh, wow.
Amy's stepped up a bit here. Marcella doesn't miss those lobs though.
No, she doesn't. Pinpoint accuracy. They've taken that back again.
Oh, that was
open
good
too. It was open, wasn't it, Rob?
She got the shot she wanted. She was aggressive and closed in well. I don't think she'd want to stop doing that, even though she did miss the volley. That's creating opportunities, Matty.
They're in a good headspace right now, the Brits. Big point here, Rob, now. This could twist the match from the first set at least up very quickly here. Lovely return. Oh,
2 in a row from Catherine that she'd normally make. She's got a very good backhand volley.
I don't mind it though, Rob. She's living by the sword, dying by the sword here, and being a bit more aggressive, taking it to the Dutch pair. It may just pay off longer term.
Yeah, absolutely. She's very good at the half volley. Oh, that's just wide. So there's the opportunity
again. Yep. Sorry, Rob.
As we just synchronise beautifully again, Maddie. Just in a very, I'd almost say we're in a flow state in the commentary box, which is pretty good news for the 12 viewers.
Wow. Catherine Rose with a beautiful shot down the line. Getting the net.
Oh, that's short, and that
Wow, and
is
that's that.
the break.
And that's what I was talking about with the aggressive demeanour, Rob. I know she missed two, but she also made it work then, and just gets it Dutch on the back foot a tiny bit when you know she's stepping into the shots.
And all of a sudden, we've got the Brits serving for the first set. There wasn't even anything looking like a half opportunity for the first part of the set. But that's the I guess that's the benefit, as we sort of spoke about earlier, of serving first. It puts the pressure on. That's called the cage.
They've just taken half a little opportunity there, Rob, and just snipped it out, taking care of business. And now the noses are in front. They're going to...
Marcella's having a few issues with the glass there.
In that corner.
In that corner, there was a bit of a drip happening, so she might not be too happy about that, which is fair enough.
All of a sudden, Rob, we've got 4 set points.
4 set points, and I think we know where Amy will be going with the serve. It's frustrating her, so no, she's changed it up, and again, she knows better than me. Let's say second try.
Now she's out, Rob, again.
Marcella's on that, and that's going to drift wide, so they hang in there. 15-40.
Catherine caught a little bit of side glass there, which popped the ball back in the middle. It's a fine line when you're going for that smash down that wing. Lovely serve. Nice deep volley. Perfect lob again from Bo. Great pick up from Bo again.
Nice change, but defending. That's good power. So they're giving themselves a good shot of staying in it. 30 or 40-30, I should say. Still set point.
And you're up 40 love, Rob. Sometimes you say it's okay, I've got 4 shots at this. Need to buckle down right now and take a... That's an incredible volley from Amy Gibson. That's why she's top 100 in the world now when the FIP rankings do come out in about 6 or 7 days.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, that turned quickly. It was about as even as you could get, except for that one service game. So I don't think Bo and Marcella would feel too disappointed. Obviously, they'd be a bit disappointed to lose the set, but I don't think they'd be feeling too overwhelmed. They definitely feel as though they could come back pretty comfortably here, I would have thought. But a great set from Catherine and Amy.
This was replicated in the last semi-final we called, Rob, where the Dutch girls had a bit of a slower start, and then Bo started producing the goods with that very savage Vibora of hers. So it's hard to work out where to lob if you're the Brits. Marcella's got a huge smash, and Bo's got that right side Vibora swing, and she can also hit it straight down the line too and flirt with the side fence and glass there. So interesting to see if the girls step up their aggressive nature a bit here, and I think they need to a little bit because they're being outplayed right now, and Amy and Catherine really have stepped up on their end.
They clearly need to do something on the return. They're probably, they had a bit of a lapse in one service game, but the rest of the time they were in control on serve, but didn't really make too many inroads on the Brits' service game. So they'll need to try and figure out a way to get through that strong net game, Catherine and Amy, and see if they can get out in front.
Big crowd in here, Rob, today. All sorts of nationalities. Portuguese, Italian, French, Spanish.
A couple of Argentinians as well. It's a melting pot, Matty. It's great to see. It's one of the best parts about the sport is the different nationalities and cultures that it attracts. It's always good to see. You're if you ever want to find a Spanish or a South American community in your city, put in a paddle court and
or visit one,
and they will come to you. It's been fantastic. We didn't realise probably the extent of the Spanish-speaking community in Melbourne. It was a not something you considered too much in the past, but it's actually the third highest spoken language in Melbourne.
Makes sense. And a lot of paella goes with that, I'm sure, Rob.
It does. We've probably got to tap into the paella market a little bit more here at Docklands. It's something I don't think we've explored quite enough, because I do enjoy a paella. We spent a bit of time together in Spain earlier in the year, Matty, and we did have at the hotel we were staying at for the majority of it, they did have the buffet, and
paella every day, wasn't it?
I've got to say, I probably did put a little bit too much paella away. It was
over paellaed yourself.
I came back
as a paella.
Came back a few kilograms heavier than I left, that was for sure. But it's a good dish.
Here we go. Back in the second set here. 30 love. I like the intent though. Bo is stepping forward now and not letting Amy have all her way in the net there.
Yep, and the benefit of just the one break, obviously the Dutch pair get to serve first this set, which is good. That'll give them the opportunity to stay in front. That's a rare miss though from Marcella, and that maybe opens the door a little bit for Catherine and Amy. Haven't seen her miss too many smashes this tournament, Matty.
No, that was sort of in between the Vibora and the smasher game there, which Bo, her partner, seems to have perfected. Nice ground strokes, hasn't she, Catherine Rose?
Yeah, she certainly does.
You're right about that half volley, Rob. She stays down low and gets it way to the net very quickly.
And that one's really died off the back glass.
That's exactly why Catherine Rose does do that half volley move. She gets down super low.
So we've got a break point here to start.
There's that glass again.
There it is. It's the one she's been struggling with down this end.
Maybe psychological as well now, Rob, I'd imagine.
It might be.
Creeping in.
Doesn't look like it is wet. It's it's maybe just, it might be a little bit of condensation. There's a bit of water
on the other side of the glass.
On the other side, yeah, and down the coming down the pillar there next to it. That's as we mentioned, it was a lot of rain came down earlier in a short space of time. It's beautiful now. You couldn't get better conditions, but it's been a funny old day. But that's not unusual for Melbourne. Not like up there in Byron Bay, Matty. Can't be all sun and coconut water everywhere, mate.
Organic coconut water.
Excuse me. And that is the break on the golden point. They've got the jump on them.
Wow. Quick shift in momentum there.
Absolutely. They've not put a foot wrong yet, Catherine and Amy. They're playing incredibly solid paddle against a great pair.
Just controlling the net so well. And Catherine's just not turning in the corner there. She's reading the conditions super well here, and she's taking the half volleys, rolling it back across the net, stealing net each time again, allowing them to come back in and control that 80% factor again by being on the net, getting themselves in volley duels as well. Both exceptionally good volleyers, so they don't mind a volley-to-volley exchange.
And a real change in style from Carla and Nerea from Spain, who Marcella and Bo played in the last one. Obviously, the Spanish pair leave a lot, let the ball go through to the glass, play defensively so well. This is a completely different style, so it does take a bit of adjustment.
Good change up there from Catherine. She holds back the smash until it's absolutely guaranteed almost. There's that serve again. Seems to be a bit of a voodoo corner now, Rob.
It is. I
think
think
they get a Ouija board in and get some sage out from my Byron Bay home. Take care of something over there.
bit of a hoodoo going on. It's not good. You don't want a hoodoo in the middle of your final. You don't want to have to get Maddie Burrell to break out the Ouija board.
If Phil comes over with some sage and does a ceremony soon, will be a little bit worrying for us all. It's guessing she's going back there again.
She is. She's,
okay,
and so she should.
We've broken the. Well done from Bo getting forward there. Nice report. There's Amy coming. Catherine coming in and out.
Catherine letting that one go through, and she's done that really effectively. Marcella's got such a good smash, good overhead, good variety on it, but Catherine just hasn't been letting the ball go through to the glass. She did that time and found it a bit tougher, so
it's funny,
tactically they're on.
They are. Marcella's very, very similar in that respect. There she goes again. Marcella also doesn't let the ball go through, which is more the modern way of playing the sport. Allows you to take a volley or a half volley, Rob, and make your way into the net if it's not a perfect for Bora, rather than turning around and giving a bit more time to it. So if your lob's decent and you can pluck that out of the air and come forward, you can still net. That's what Catherine's been very good at. There's that corner again, all the Sage gurus in.
Yeah, there's been a lot of free points there. You wouldn't normally see that at this level. So many free points off the serve. She's obviously hitting that serve very, very well. Also, lefties that can be a tricky one for the right-handed player if you hit the spot.
Love the return from Amy. Slowed it down there. Playing the angles nicely here. Very clever play. That's a beautiful lob. Wow.
Oh, good pick up though. And that
didn't want to let that one go, Marcella.
Drifted wise, and this is starting to enter into the danger zone a little bit here. They're setting a break and love 15. They don't want to let the British pair get another break. Going up 2 breaks is going to be very hard to come back from, especially the form that Catherine and Amy are in.
It's a great return too.
Is that a little bit more rain? By the sound of things, Maddie, after I made the call, no more rain.
Either that or the shamans arrived to do the saging here. One of the two. Great control from the girls here.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Wow.
Great pickup. Oh, and it's drifted long.
Interesting there, Rob. That's a bit of a voodoo corner, but I would have whipped up a side boast there probably.
Yeah,
there.
She may need to look at doing something different, that's for sure. Marcella's getting a little bit pinned down in the corner, which we definitely didn't see in the last game. She really controlled that space. That's a good serve from Bo. They needed that. 15-30. They do need to make a change. They've got to figure out a way to mix things up a little bit. I'm not sure what the answer is yet, but they need to try and experiment, try a few things, and see if they can find a way through.
Great defense from Amy Gibson.
And that has drifted long, and
that brings up 3 break points, Rob.
We are now officially in the danger zone. $15.40. Love 2 and a set down. the first time she's unleashed on that one, and that might be the
way forward, you think, Rob?
It might be.
Pathway forward there.
It's pretty impressive to get it out from there. She didn't look like she caught it exactly how she wanted either, so just shows how much power Marcella has.
Catherine backing a half volley again. Right hand from the girls. There's a big Vibora from Bo.
Oof, caught the end of the racket.
Oh, wow. Absolutely on Amy's racket there to take care of business.
Yep.
Whips that cross court so well as well. Hit the tape and dropped. It's definitely a clean winner, I think, Rob, wasn't it?
It certainly was. It wasn't coming back, and here we go. Golden point. This is huge for the Dutch pair. They really can't afford to lose this one.
Oh, wow. Great lob there too from Amy. Mix it up a bit.
Just drifted wide and
tough to lob too, Marcella, with her height.
Absolutely.
Well, Rob, this is interesting times here. We have seen things swing around fast though in this sport, so we're not going to write this off yet at all or celebrate.
No.
If you're the British national coach at home watching this, we're almost there though from a British perspective, but from the other side, stranger things have happened and turnarounds like this. So
absolutely, it's definitely not over, but a set in 2 breaks, you'd be feeling pretty confident. Well, I think the main reason for the confidence though would just be how well they're actually playing. Catherine and Amy have not put a foot wrong for this entire match. They're really controlling the tempo. They're taking the ball early. They're playing aggressive.
They're taking time off the Dutch with their, especially Amy with that half volley. She gets down on one knee and flicks it back at your feet each time and just takes all the power and work and spin out of that Vibora and saves the trauma of sometimes needing to turn in that corner with a low riding Vibora off 2 walls. So it's worked out super well, and I'm sure they've talked about this before the match.
It feels like they've come in with a really clear plan. Like we said earlier, they have been practicing together, so it does feel as though Catherine and Amy, the British girls, and that one drifts along as well, have come in with a good game plan, and they're executing perfectly.
There we go again. Being very reserved in their smashes. Amy's known on the tour of having a massive smash, and she's been very, very reserved to date. It's a nice high lob from Bo, and just playing it very smartly. Holding net, keeping the girls other side deep, waiting for the point like that, and the dispatching. Great patience from the Great Britain girls.
Yeah, this is clinical so far. 40 love for a 4-love lead in the second set. 1 set to love.
There's that roll again.
Got a good bounce though, but that's gonna
out.
Climb the wall. Amazing play. 4-0, a set in 4 love. I don't think anyone would have predicted that.
They've been in great form ever since Sydney. Confidence is high, and got the strategy exactly right, I reckon, Rob, like you said before. Both playing to their strengths.
So what do you do here, Maddie? Put yourself in Marcella and Bo's shoes.
You start doing that a bit, I think. You start having to take the ball out of the air, take more risks, and playing to your strengths, which is Marcella's very fast smash and Bo's Vibora. So hitting the ball, exactly what's happening now is what she's doing. That's what I'll be doing too. Absolutely carving it out of the air. It's been working so far. If nothing else, it changes the tempo up a bit, Rob, and disrupts the steam train that it is the great British girls right now, if nothing else.
No, I think you're right. You can't just keep doing what you've been doing. It's not working today. It's just not having too much effect with Catherine and Amy playing so well. You got to roll the dice.
There we go. Marcel again getting a bit more aggressive. Oh, it's a great ball from Catherine.
Double hand is a bit of a weapon, isn't it? That one drifts long. Again.
As soon as Amy and Catherine get anywhere near that net, they're in full control here. Quite patient though, and working their way forward.
Gee. 30 all. They've got another opportunity here. Bo trying to get some energy from somewhere, trying to fire up. 30 all, here we go. Probably worth staying up for in the UK, I would have thought, Matty. To be, what do we think, about 2 AM at the moment? Maybe a little bit after.
I think it's a good decision right now. Have a nice comfy sleep after this. Just goes the way we think it might now.
It's about the first one we've seen
We may have
Catherine
spoken
miss.
too early.
So the Dutch pair just want to get on the board here, just make sure they're in with a chance.
It's not quite time to clean the teeth before bed yet, is it, Rob? Could be a bit of play left to go here.
It's not, Matty. No, you don't want to go early. I mean, you wouldn't want to go to bed anyway with the men's final coming up after this as well. I think even the Libby Fletcher, the great Britain paddle coach, would just want to stay up and absorb the moment and watch the men's final through till 6 AM.
Oh, I don't think we give Libby a break, wouldn't you, Rob? Poor Libby's been up every night probably supporting the girls over 2 weeks straight. It's been a long journey as a national coach to take care of that. Here comes Pep now. Just chatting to Libby through the system here. We're asking you if we assume she is.
Yeah, 4 AM in the UK, according to Pep. So you would think maybe she set the alarm early. That might have been the approach.
Did. I would have thought she's ready to brush her teeth and pack it in right now, Rob. She's deserves a good night's sleep after all this. Her girls have played super well. 5 love. I mean, what are the odds now of a comeback, Rob? If you're a betting man, what would you do now?
I'd say they're low, Matty. That'd be my appraisal. Look, it's hard to imagine how they're going to get back into it, and probably just through the sheer fact of how well Catherine and Amy are playing, they just have not let up at any stage.
Bar an injury right now, or a cyclone coming through.
Just getting clarification that the score was wrong, so it's 4-1.
We've called this a bit early.
We have called it.
Poor old Libby at home.
She might have, hopefully didn't go to bed based on my use of the scoreboard, because it is 4-1.
There's that corner again, Rob. We'll see if that factors into the men's as well. It's become almost psychological.
She may have to consider just stepping in, assuming it's going to come to the backhand, and taking that step forward and getting it before the glass if Marcella continues to struggle with it. That's a lovely volley. Look at those hands from Catherine. Amazing pickup.
Incredible. That's Bo's big weapon.
It's pretty relentless pressure.
She's got to pull the trigger on that each time now, I think, and did attempt it there. Top of tape, unlucky and unfortunate. It's her kill shot. Bo Ludicals. Nice volley from Marcella. That's a bullet again.
Yep.
So Bo's got a bit more of that in her. I think the British lady would be prepared for that now. Probably opting not to lob it out wide there. Sticking with the middle lob, I'd imagine. No. Smart play from Catherine Rose. Pinning Bo back in the corner first and then escalating with a smash right back after.
I think we're at 40-30 here, but might have just missed 1 point in there. We'll see what happens after this one.
Oh wow.
It's unlucky, complete accident, but caught her on the arm.
One of the risks of this sport, isn't it, Rob? We've all been clipped before, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It's
part of the game.
It is part of the game. It's
no helmets in the sport.
no helmets, no padding, but and also having to run forward when people are lining up for a smash. That's one of the
tennis differences.
One of the twists of the game. Yeah, as a tennis player, you're normally hightailing it out of there, but
that is a weird thing for any tennis player to take care of mentally up front, right? When someone's lining a smash up at your feet, running into it. It's about as crazy as it can seem to any normal tennis player. Bit of a pep in the step now for the Dutch team, as rain is coming down again here, Rob.
Yeah, just trying to shift the energy a little bit. Doing a good job here, so you want that easy hold and then to throw everything at them.
Appreciate your recognition of the energy shift here, Rob. Byron Bay thanks you.
No. Always focused on the energy.
Wow, great hands from all the girls here.
And that's a good hold of serve.
It is good. This is where the comeback must start, Rob. If there's going to be one, it's going to be now.
I would recommend doing it in the next game. It'll be hard to do after that. But it would be quite the comeback.
We mentioned after this we have the men's final to come, which will be a spectacular game. Come a long way, the Spaniards, to claim the one way or another, to claim the title out here at the Melbourne Padel Open. Great, Matt Levy just came past as well to say hi.
Yep. Matt
hosting the tournament this weekend from GAME4PADEL.
Matt, absolutely, he was the man responsible for building these courts, the person who, or one of the people who brought paddle to Melbourne, so we're very grateful for that. And just 3 years later, after he bolted these courts down, we've got some of the best players, or some of the best players in the world going at it.
Some of the top 100 players in the world. 2 of them on the court right now. That lob can't drop, can it? It did drop. It's incredible from Bo. There's Catherine again with that half volley. That's a great ball from Amy Gibson.
Yep.
As a lefty,
a lot of
cutting across like that. It's one of your favourite shots, Rob. difficult to deal with. Do you let it go to the second glass? It bullets from one glass to the other. You've got to do a quick turn and flick it back out. Almost impossible from there. Smart. When you possess the smash, you can do the fake, as we talked about before.
Absolutely. First time she's really sold it there and did it to perfection. And we are at 30 love. That's drifted wide as well. And
4 championship points here, Rob. I got that scoring right?
Let's
Am I
hope
asking
so.
the right guy?
Let's hope so, Matt. I believe it is. So 40 love, 4 championship points for back-to-back titles.
Just patience. Been going long. Nice flick from Bo. Wow.
Another high quality point.
Great patience here from all the girls. Oh, it's dropped in.
And
Stop it.
what a
Wow,
point to
well
finish on.
done, well done. Catherine Amy can't believe it. Taking home bacon here in Melbourne, Australia.
Back-to-back FIP silver titles.
Comprehensive victory too.
124 FIP points in the bank for the girls. That is a phenomenal effort, and that was just
Amazing.
a fantastic performance.
Crowd
Maddie.
are going wild. You can't see it. The crowd have gone wild here.
Yeah, we do have a big
Good
crowd.
on you guys, and well done to Libby too, staying up this late to see the girls take the back-to-back victories. What a special day.
She must be super excited about the potential here.
Rob, that changes the whole dynamic of the British team, I think, now, in regards to having top 100 players and entering into bigger tournaments. It sets a pathway for the future, I think, for their team.
Absolutely, this is it's a huge performance, and it'll be really interesting to see where Catherine jumps to as well. Like 124 points, as we said. That's a big boost for Catherine as well. Amy obviously cracking the top 100, and pretty good partnership moving into 2025, Maddie.
I think Amy cracked the top 100 prior to winning this as well, so that's going to boost her up in the, I'm going to dare to say, without being fact checked right now, in the 80s maybe as well. So it's, I know it gets harder at the top, but a victory here, back to back, that's a lot of points in the new format in 2025. FIP have been very generous with the points in the FIP Silver.
Absolutely.
1.5 times the last equivalent tournament of last year. It was 40 points last year, and 62 was it?
62 this year, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a big difference, and that means the people who do what Catherine and Amy have done and make a good start to the year get a pretty significant advantage. That's going to jump them over quite a few people and get them into the big tournaments and get them seedings, high seedings in sort of definitely this level, but even through to FIP Gold and maybe Platinum. You'd think they'd be knocking on the door of some seeded positions, and yeah, you get those better draws. Who knows?
Who knows? Rob, should we take another mental health break? Occupational health and safety regulations permit us to have 15 minutes every 2 hours. Should we have a little break?
I think it's...
And then get back to the men's final, coming straight up after.
Absolutely, mate. It'd be the responsible thing to do. So well done again to Catherine and Amy. We'll take a little bit of a break while the guys come out and warm up, and we will be back with you shortly. Do you mind doing it quickly? I don't know how to reset it. Foolproof. Welcome back to the 2025 FIP Silver Game for Paddle Melbourne Open. And we've got our last match of the week. Players warming up on court 2, our centre court, here at Docklands. The rain has come down again. We had a couple of little wet spots on the court. We don't have a completely watertight ceiling above us here. Obviously, definitely better conditions than outdoors at the moment, but it is a little bit wet. But we are nearly ready to go. Players just warming up, and I'm joined again in the commentary box by the godfather of Australian paddle, the lobster, Matty Burrell. How are you, Matty?
Good to be back, Rob. What a match in store here. Got the winners from Sydney who dyed their hair blonde, and why wouldn't you, after taking out a FIP Silver in Sydney and the associated prize money and prestige that comes with it.
Absolutely.
On the court.
Game
and Joel,
the
and they're looking sharp.
The full platinum blonde, it's a good look. Have you ever rocked that one?
I haven't, mate. It's hard enough having, let's call it strawberry blonde, not red, for the sake of those at home. Red hair or strawberry blonde hair. I don't know what would happen if I dyed it platinum, but it looks like a wig he's wearing.
I think it's.
But that's okay.
I think it's never too late, Matty. Maybe next time you take out a tournament on the Australian Paddle Tour.
Rock it blonde, do you think?
You could go hit the salon the next day. That'd be.
I might do a home version, I think. Yeah, I'd. All right, I'll commit that to you, Rob. If either of us take out an Opens event. Can't talk about Masters because that may actually happen in the next couple of years if we're super lucky.
I think we're both pretty safe on the Open side of things. So yeah, let's commit to that. We'll lock that in on air on YouTube on the FIP channel. So the two boys from Barcelona that won in Sydney last week, making the final here. They had a big semi-final against the Bali-based Catalonians. A great match there.
Edo and Pole, yeah. Saw the racket get crunched after that. Disappointed.
Yeah, super tight match and
up 3-1 in the third set. We're up a break in the third set. I think the Bali brothers.
Yeah, they did.
Disappointing for them.
They were disappointed, but they're terrific fellows as well. They had a chat to them afterwards, and they definitely had let it go by then. They're good guys.
I don't mind that though. You know, crack a few rackets and then get on with life after, rather than holding back the resentment for weeks or days on end. Just give it 15 minutes and move on.
Absolutely, mate. It's a passionate sport. We want to see passion. We don't want to be operating in a sterile environment. That's one of the great parts about paddle is music playing, a bit of passion on court.
Emotions everywhere. Yep.
Absolutely. In the commentary box, a lot of emotion. We might turn on each other at some stage during this call and kiss and make up at the end. It'll be.
Well, there's always a sauna. Bit of recovery we can have together, Rob. Talk it out. There is
a debrief. We'll probably be doing that anyway. But
we do talk about our feelings in Byron Bay a fair bit. Some would say too often. But it's okay. It's all good stuff.
Very good. So the team from Barcelona, I believe, good friends and training partners with Sergi and Nikolai, who made the final here last year.
Oh, that's right.
So they believe they both train out of the same academy with Pablo Aimer. I'd have to check that one. That can be fact checked very easily. I've probably made it up, but I do think they train together pretty regularly.
Well, they train once together potentially. That's fair enough.
Sergi was a big advocate for the trip down to Australia last year. He was great entertainment. Really nice fellow and did a great job. Made the final, and hopefully has pumped up the trip to his mates, who have responded by winning one tournament and are set up in the final for the next one. It'd be a big trip for them. We spoke in the ladies' final about just how many points the players are getting, because it has gone up in 2025.
50% increase, Rob.
That is.
I mean, there's inflation, then there's inflation. That's a big increase, isn't it?
That's beyond CPI, Matty. That's big. So that'll get these guys off to a great start. They're very talented players, and Joel. I'm sure that's not the Spanish pronunciation.
Joel.
He's definitely heralded as one of the next big hopes in Spain. Big left-hander. And then, of course, at the other end, we've got the two 20-year-olds. So Victor, who's warming up his smash at the moment, massive overhead from Ibiza. Matty, where I believe you've done some of your finest work over the years.
I've been known to rock a sunbed or two in Ibiza, and in my old days, hit up some of those late-night venues. But no more for me. Rob, I've learnt my lesson.
Right. More of a simple lifestyle nowadays, but yeah, Joel brought up in Ibiza. It's obviously a very it's a hotbed for paddle, not just for nightclubs. It's a lot of good players come from down there, and Roberto from Madrid, which is, would I be correct in saying, the home of paddle, Matty? Is that probably the strongest city in the world for paddle, Madrid?
I reckon it is. I was talking to Dom about this, Dom Bouchard about this more recently. He's heading off to Madrid because he thinks that's where the most of the action is in terms of academies. Be second only to Barcelona, potentially. We did a few. We took the Aussie team a while ago off to Buenos Aires in Argentina, which is probably a bit more old school, but it's a bit of activity there as well, Rob. So they're probably the main places. Spain, in the south of Spain is where paddle started, in Marbella, I believe, before it drifted north to Madrid and Barcelona, or Barcelona, if you're local.
Absolutely, and that's we have spoken about that a little bit earlier, but that's Dom, one of the best Australian players, doing that, and it's what you've got to do. You've got to go where the action is, much like you in Ibiza at the nightclubs. You got to put yourself in the mix, don't you, Matty? And we're underway here. So Joel serving first, and we're expecting some big things in this match. These are two incredibly talented pairs.
Called that out.
Just wide there.
Millimetre in it, but I think it's a fair call. Got a bit of a view down here, view line down here.
I think we're going to see a lot of patient play. They're obviously big hitters as well, but they defend so well that you don't really want to red line too much against them, because they can just get everything back anyway. So it'll be patient and waiting for the right shot, I think.
Got to strike a balance, Rob, between all players here have the ability to hit the ball out. It's just when you want to do it. And just really see a lot of touch shots with these players. The better the players get, the softer they hit the ball, ironically.
Yeah,
Bit of a strange phenomena, but that's what happens.
It's very, very true. There's not too much that troubles these guys in defence. Their defensive play is out of this world. I think the two Barcelonan boys, the Blondies, they probably got a little bit more power about their game. Obviously the left hand, right hand combination of Joel and Guillaume, plenty of power. But there's a
dispatch.
No,
someone grab that, please.
Yep, there's a good catch in the crowd there. We are a bit worried about the balls.
Thank goodness we can play cricket in this country. That could have been
on the wet concrete. We don't want to see people getting out of the way of the ball. We want to see them inserting themselves into the match and stopping it from going in the puddles. Lovely lob.
just the positioning of all the players, Rob, as they're running through this rally. It's super interesting to watch where they go, the stagger formation.
Yeah, this should be a real battle of strategy. Look at that pickup, Matty. Gee, we're very much behind the court here at court level, and the view from the live stream is quite high, so you might not be able to appreciate sometimes just how good that is. But that
wow,
is
Rob,
a good start. And you'll be pleased to know, Matt, that I did get the score wrong in the first game, so I've really got to lift my...
Rob, should we outsource this duty to someone else, do you think?
It might not be the worst idea. I seem to struggle with multitasking, and I know not a big strength of yours either, so...
You can drag me down with you there.
I will.
Fair enough, too.
I'm not going down alone, not dying on a hill by myself. We'll see how we go. I'll attempt, and if I'm failing miserably, we might bring someone in for the second set to do the very easy job of pressing a button after every point.
We never got to the bottom in Sydney of Game's chewing gum game. It's a strong chewing gum game. He very relaxed on the court. Black crown racket. On the left-hand side. As you see from the camera, he's a very, very chilled out guy. And we talked through the chewing of it. Dom and myself had a real discussion about that in Sydney. Oof. Wow. Gee, he closes well, Joel, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Anything loose up there is just good night.
That's the advantage of having that lefty over on the right side, that ability to close down the court, come through the middle with a big forehand volley.
Wow, again.
Oh,
what a recovery. These guys will know each other's games fairly well, as you mentioned before, Rob. They're all good mates.
And yeah, they've been practicing together since they arrived as well. So be very familiar with each other's game. They'll know what they need to do, but it's just a matter of executing, and always a little bit harder to execute when there's plenty of prize money and ranking points on the line.
Just great touch from Guillaume. Great touch. Got a break there, Rob.
That is the break.
Call it too early, but that's 2-0 with a flyer from Guillaume and Joel. It's a lovely backhand volley Guillaume's got. In fact, dare I say it, two blondies here have magnificent volleys, the pair of them.
They definitely do. That's a pretty explosive smash though from Victor.
Jump squirrel smash.
I do like that one. They make it look easy, but I confidently say it's not.
Clinical backhand volleys these guys have.
play. So a bit of an opportunity.
It's the first time Roberto's got into this match. He hasn't seen many balls at the moment, Roberto.
No, he hasn't. They are playing quite a bit through Victor and then closing down the space and attacking. But we've got love 30 here, so we've got a bit of a chance. They'll want to try and put the pressure on, bit of a let cord there. And that's drifted wide and love 40, so they've got 3 or 4, effectively 4 break points. They'll want to get themselves on the board, Roberto and Victor, and just settle the nerves a little bit, get the break back. I don't think that'll, didn't quite go out. That drifts long, and there's the break. So back-to-back breaks, and we're back on serve. It's all happening pretty quickly here, Matty. I've got to say, it's an amazing level of paddle. It's outside of this tournament, and obviously last week's in Sydney. It's a little bit beyond what we've seen before here in Australia.
I feel like every shot has got intent. There's just nothing loose going on out there. Every single shot's got a purpose. It's got an agenda. Great Vukta's coming by. Western Australian tennis superstar and paddle guru and pickleball guru, you could say as well.
Yeah, a bit of an all-round threat is Big Vuk. He's come back after a stint in the US, working at a big paddle
sports house club in Connecticut, wasn't it, Rob?
I believe it was, yeah. So good experience for him being over there, and also competed a bit at the top level in the US in both paddle and pickleball. So good to have Vuk back here, and he was a member of the Aussie Crocs.
He was.
Over in Bahrain. Partnered up with
Q8.
Q8, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Bahrain on the way through though, yep.
Yeah.
Went to Bahrain after, but yeah, no, key member of the team there, Vuk. He's got some energy and then some. That lob's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
Wow.
Vuk partnered up with another Australian, Jake Benzel, who is definitely the best Australian player ever to play paddle. Matty, he's got an Australian mother, but has always lived in Spain.
He came with us, Rob, to the Masters first. We warmed him up.
He did.
Warmed him into the Australian jersey, nice and slow. Then
it was a good fit, though. He fit in well, Jake. He's a great fella, and he
took us to his club, didn't he, Rob, in Barcelona? Had a nice.
He did. That was a very impressive club and facility, and he's got a good lifestyle over there. Big Jake spends a bit of time on the boat.
He does. He's got a couple of posts up about himself as well, up and about Barcelona. We went into a club to have a practice game, and greeted by Jake at the front door. Massive oversized poster. So he's well known and well liked all the way through Spain and now Australia.
Jake was apparently the first player ever to be sponsored by Knox, which is one of the big paddle brands. Had a racket named after him. Which have you had a racket named after you?
No,
yet,
just a shot. Just a shot. That's about it. Just a lobster. An animal named after me. Crustacean.
So we're back at 2-2 here.
We are. No, shout out Jake if he's around. Well-liked guy around the traps. Everyone knows Jakey. Got to around 13 or 14, I think, in the world, back in the World Paddle Tour days, which is
he said
massive.
He was in the top dozen pairs in the world. That's pretty incredible, really. Like, that's relatively speaking quite a bit higher than all 4 of the players on court at the moment. So it shows just how good he was and still is.
Just noting here, Rob, none of these players at this level are half folding anything that's, even if it's coming in hot, all turn and all take it off the double glass without any problems at all, and can either flick up the lob or can redirect back down the line, middle or off. Got all the shots, these guys.
Yeah, a little bit different, obviously, to the women's final in that respect. The girls were very good at taking the ball, keeping it out in front. But these guys just defending is so natural for them. They don't have any issues with it at all.
Yeah, it goes to show that owning the net at the higher level, it does make a difference, obviously, with the stats, but it's even more important.
Getting the food delivery here from Maddie Levy. Oh,
look at that.
Down.
Check the grip on those shoes there from Victor.
Yeah, there is a bit of...
He does move fast, though, and he changes directions exceedingly fast and well, so he's rolling on a dime over there, chasing everything down, as you'd expect, being a up and about left side player as a right-hander.
So we got break point here, 30-40. We've had one break point. They're on a bit of a roll. Oh, he's having a lot of trouble with his footing, though, isn't he?
I think Phil might get a call out fairly soon here to see what's going on. The other players seem okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't know if that's going to help, though. That's where it's a bit... I think he needs a towel on the foot there. Gets into your head a bit too, doesn't it, Rob, after a while?
It does, yeah. A couple of slips and you tend to be a bit more reluctant to really push off. They've still got a break point here, though. They're on a roll. Victor calling his partner Roberto up there.
What a lob.
Amazing lob. There we go. So 3-2. They've come back from 2-0.
It's been topsy-turvy. There's been no real advantage in serving at this stage.
Certainly has. And we've got Max Levy from the club providing a towel there for the boys. There are a few drips around the service line on the left side on the end closest to camera.
As the champ, Catherine Rose, walks by.
With a rosé.
Well-deserved rosé. That was a drink of choice. She was asked. So Cale Hooker Wines.
Yeah,
Hooker Wines.
Good supporter of the club. Cale with his family vineyard back in the Swan Valley in Perth. Some very nice drops come from over that way, Matty. They're renowned for their Shiraz at Hooker Wines, so nice of them to support the club and all of the players.
And the tournament.
And the tournament, yeah. All the players who are in the final will get a couple of bottles there, and no doubt
commiserations or celebrations tonight.
Either way, I'm sure it'll still taste good. That nice Swan Valley red. But Catherine be feeling pretty happy with things, I would imagine. Amazing performance in the women's final. But here we go. We've got to see if Guillaume and Joel can figure out how to get back into this. They've let things slip a little bit. The momentum's definitely going the other way. That's one way to do it.
Just the spin of that ball is unbelievable. Guillaume just cuts right down, and these slower conditions absolutely dies, and not even Victor can get to that. Just saw there for probably the first time Joel half volleying rather than turning on that Vibora.
It's a big smash that Victor has. And the crowd appreciating it. We've got a few people in today, which is great. We've got a nice big crowd. It's, as you can see, probably in the background, it's been a pretty average day, or a bad weather day in Melbourne. We've had such beautiful conditions all tournament. Unfortunately, it broke a little bit earlier with the storm, but hasn't stopped people coming down to watch some world-class paddle, which is great. Oh, look
wow.
at that.
Timed that well. Tough shot to flick off the backhand.
Certainly is. Have you ever done that one, Matty? Is that?
I haven't over the fence, Rob. Actually, I've done it over the back fence, yeah, but not over the side fence. And I've probably attempted it 800 times, so I'm 1 from 800. How about you?
No, definitely not in my arsenal, mate. It's my biggest concern is normally not falling over the net when I'm up close to it. So haven't quite reached that level, but maybe that's something we can try and add over the next year. Now that we've got these guys showing us how to do it. Oh, that is drifted wide, and that's game again.
4-2, Rob, are we?
4-2, we are.
See the boys here getting a little bit good communication still, fired up. The Blonde brothers. They're looking to go back to back after Sydney. Wow, it's a lovely looking backhand there. Victor looks relaxed at all times. And a perfect Bahada off the back from Roberto. It does get involved, Roberto. It's dangerous. Doesn't muck around. All right, we've seen some bit more positivity here from the boys.
It's good defending though. Victor and Robert. So 30-15. Stayed in.
That's a perfect volley again. Absolutely clutch with that volley, Rob. Doesn't monster it ever, just absolutely feathers it down with a bit of spin and knows it's going to drop off the back wall.
Yeah.
It's a masterclass in volleying there.
It really is incredible placement. Look at that return as well.
This rally.
Oh, bit of a lucky break there for a GAME. I think we're at 40-30 at the moment. And I think we definitely will be looking at outsourcing the scoring for this second set.
Long rally here, Rob. Incredible defense again.
Oh,
wow.
What a finish.
Crowd have gone crazy with that one. Roberto stepping in again. So
We got
quality off Roberto's racket right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got our first golden point, I believe. So Guillaume and Joel really need to get this one. They don't want to go down 2 breaks. You'd be saying goodbye to the first set, I would have thought. And they do that. Well done, great volley. That keeps things in check a little bit.
What are your early thoughts on the set here in the match, Rob? How the players settling down, do you think? Just filling each other out a bit?
Yeah, look, I mean, first impression is obviously just the level for us. Just watching an absolute masterclass in defending and control, and all 4 players just seem to have so much time when you know that the quality of shots that are coming their way are just incredible. So as far as the way the match is flowing, it's yeah, look, obviously you'd rather be up a break. There's no doubt about that, but I don't think either pair is going to feel as though they can't break serve. They're both so good off the return, so in control from the back of the court that they're always going to be in it, but probably Roberto and Victor looked a little bit more looking a little bit more comfortable, a little bit less errors coming off their racket. So probably just consistency helping them at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like babyface Roberto, if we can call him that. Being 20 but still having a baby face. Every time he gets involved, which isn't that often, they seem to be steering the play to Victor. I'm not sure if that's the right move at this point. He seems to be up to the task when he's on his feet.
He certainly does. He certainly does. He does look young, Roberto. I think he would struggle to get into those Ibiza nightclubs without producing the ID. Both players just 20 years of age. It's good to see so much young talent out here as well. That's big. Not just obviously for us getting to see them, but potentially looking at some players with very, very bright futures in the sport at the highest level. Oh, look at that.
Well, Roberts. That just goes to show that I thought Victor had knocked that completely out of the cage there, but the ability for getting him to flick. Here we go again. Oh, he's hit him. He's hit him. It may have been going long. Not happy about that. Obviously, he's okay.
He looks okay. Yeah, he did run into it a little bit, but I think we're at 15 all here. So everyone looks okay. Him took that pretty well.
He did. I mean, he just had a haircut. Didn't need a second one.
He did. No histrionics though. Just took the hit, got on with it.
Channel that, Rob. Channel that for the future, as they did win that point. 15-30, is it?
Oh, that's
wow. Absolutely slapped that down the middle.
And I think...
Are we 30 all, Rob?
We are... No, we must be...
40-30 after that point, potentially. That
no, I think it might be a golden point.
Oh, right, it's true, sorry. Oh, wow.
It was, and didn't make the return, unfortunately. So we do go to 5-3.
That was an opportunity that the boys really need to take then, I feel, Rob, in this first set. They come and go pretty fast, these opportunities.
Yeah, they're not giving them many, that's for sure. Roberto and Victor are playing some pretty flawless paddle at the moment. That's big.
Just so different, Rob, when you grow up with this sport all the way through.
It is. We've sort of, during all the matches that we've covered together here, Matty, we've been speaking a lot about the transition from tennis. Obviously, we've watched a lot of the Australian players on court and in the women's final. All four being strong tennis players, 3 of the 4 having world rankings. But this is a little bit different because I don't know if any of the guys have played tennis at a high level. Being 20, you would probably assume that they've
gone
been
all the way up, yeah.
all paddle since junior. So it's a different game when you play it exclusively. That's for sure.
What I found when I was chatting to the Spanish paddle players over the years, a lot of them play a bit of tennis and take a bet each way in their junior years. Play a bit of both, and then transition into paddle full time. There's a career to be made out of it in Spain, as these boys are finding out now. Prize money not quite as big as tennis. I'd say it's about 1/10 the size of tennis roughly. Saw analysis recently actually.
It's a good serve. That's that spot.
There's that voodoo corner again. Get the sage back out. Something's going on over there. Get the Ghostbusters team in there maybe.
Might.
It's been a real it's been a real issue, that corner.
It has. They've struggled a little bit off it. The guys here do seem to be adjusting fairly well to it. That's probably one of the first ones we've seen them miss off the return there.
Phil having a check at the Bermuda Triangle over there.
Yeah.
Seeing what's going on. A few planes missing and balls missing in that corner.
He is. It's you feel like you're in safe hands with Phil. That's one of the benefits. You know he's going to make the right decision.
With a smile, normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely fellow. Knows
Even
the rule book inside out.
He does. Even gives out codes with a smile. Phil.
He does. I don't think we've had any this tournament, have we, Matty?
No. We had one in the last tournament.
Did you?
Paul soon after losing, just smashed a ball into the hit it a couple of kilometres away, actually. Hit the cover off it, and then basically just self-confessed and went up to Phil and said, look, I know it's a code, I know what's going on here, and had a laugh about it. So just getting it out of the system.
Again, that's that bit of passion. Get it out,
Get
move
it
on.
out.
It's not a bad way to live your life, is it, Matty?
No, you got to feel it to heal it, Rob.
You do.
As they say
in Byron Bay.
As my shaman told me.
Absolutely.
That corner.
It's going to pop.
Oh.
It's a good effort. It's slow conditions. It's not easy to get the ball out from that far back, but
That's a massive smash, Rob. But on a hot day, that's flying, 6 or 7 feet above the heart of the cage. Just feathered over here. That's an absolutely massive smash.
Well, that's going to drift long.
That's where the boys want to be.
So we got 30-15, but
if you're the Backstreet Boys, you want to be in the mix of a volley duel, I'd imagine. I think they might want to get a little bit more aggressive now. It's tough for that sort of return, though.
Yeah, having real issues in that corner, isn't he?
Bermuda Triangle all over again there. It's becoming a real thing. It's going to have its own Instagram page soon, that little corner, Rob, I would imagine.
It is, and unfortunately the rain's continuing to fall, but which makes it hard for it to dry up. There's just a big beam running down above that. And that's drifted wide. I don't think you can blame the wet court for that one, unfortunately.
That's the first set, is it, Rob?
That is the first set. So pretty solid performance there, I would have thought. Very
big Callum Builders came rolling in, checking on the event here. He's got a big job over the next few weeks. We've got the Red Bull Rally, it's called, going on at the Aussie Open. Roscoe Taylor saying goodbye as well. It's Padel royalty everywhere here.
It is. Some of the biggest names.
Yeah, Callum's got a bit on his plate right now. We've got a massive event coming up in the Aussie Open and associated Padel, Pop and Pickle sub-events within the Aussie Open. And then, of course, this tournament itself, Sydney last week. It's about as big as it gets for this sport in this country at the moment. So lots going on. And we've got a lot to be thankful for Tennis Australia for shepherding the sport along, marketing-wise, investment-wise and everything else. It's really made a huge difference since I was involved with the Federation prior to that. A lot of gratitude, Tennis Australia.
Absolutely, it's
wow.
Incredible.
Oh, wow.
That is incredible. What an amazing
Dean
pickup.
just sat there flat-footed.
Could not have
chewed the gum and moved on to the next point.
Couldn't have hit that volley much better either, could you?
No, he wanted to clap them, but he wasn't allowed to. His partner wouldn't let him do that. His volleys are just unbelievably knifed.
They are.
That's got to come from a tennis background, Rob. That's not run-of-the-mill sort of stuff, is it?
No, he does have I guess what you call a little bit of a tennis technique on the volley. It does look like he would have played a bit, definitely. But there are players that are playing at the highest level that do look as though they've played tennis, but actually haven't, like Tapia.
May have heard of him.
Yeah, young up and coming Argentinian who's #1 in the world. He, if you were to look at the way he plays, you'd swear he'd come from a tennis background, but by all reports, not at all.
Boys have started this game well, I feel. Oh, that's a smart move. Two-hander volley there. That's a good first game with good positive intent, Rob.
Absolutely.
That's what you need to kick off with.
Yeah, they needed that one. They needed to, again, get out in front, hold serve, keep the pressure on. Roberto and Victor haven't done much wrong, so might be just a bit of pressure that gets to them, if anything. So if Joel and Guillaume can stay in front, keep holding serve, who knows?
Lovely long from Guillaume. Just stays back and surprise attacks forward.
Oh.
I love the way he pretended to give up on that point. Stepped over it again.
I'm not 100% sure that was pretending, but he...
talented either way.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like a no-look. He didn't.
I think they've just played so much paddle that they don't even...
He gave that up. That's a kill shot 99% of the time, isn't it?
They don't even realise they're hitting the ball back.
It's a double fault there.
It was pretty close. Haven't got the best angle on it from where we are, but it's starting to get to them just a little bit.
Wow, he's quick, isn't he, Victor?
He is.
Just, again, knife to volley middle there. Dropped and then Joel forced to hit up on the ball and Victor sitting on top of the net. Super speedy around the court. Up to no shot he can hit from down there.
It's a good lob. Well, there it is. That is a real weapon.
Absolute weapon, especially in these conditions. I get the feeling is 99 out of 100 every time he hits that ball. He's not going to miss it very often. Good work from Max Levy, producing the towel for Victor to towel his shoes off with.
Yep.
He's feeling a bit safer around the court now, and he's getting super busy.
Probably should give a bit of a shout out to young Max as well. He's, well, that's a big smash from Guillaume. Max has done a great job this week at the tournament. He's the man behind all of the streaming and IT, as well as a bunch of other things around the club. It certainly would have been difficult to do all of this without Max's help. He's been fantastic. Without that, Matty, we might have denied the public our commentary, which would have been a crying shame.
Be a crime in its own right, I think, Rob. But yeah, Max has done an incredible job. Oh, it's big. It's out.
Snuck out as well. Great
Incredible job, Max. He's, as you said, put the IT together, and which is more than meets the eye. We've got a lot of scoring going on here in the background. Refereeing, draws going in and out everywhere.
Yeah, they're big
Social
events, aren't
media.
they, Matty?
Lot to think about.
There is a lot that goes into these. Oh,
How did
that
he pick
is
that volley
just
off?
phenomenal from
Picked
Roberto.
that off his trousers. picked off his pocket. He picked that
He
volley
really
off.
did.
That's incredible.
Really did. Probably showing your age a little bit there with the use of trousers, but it's okay.
We have a few oldies and youngers watching. It's all good.
Yeah, no, there'd be a few trouser fanatics in the audience, I would have thought. That's a good close, though, from Guillaume. So they edge in front, which is very, very important.
just keeping in the game mentally is important, Rob, and I can see them chatting away now. They're furiously discussing things, and Victor's very calm, as always.
He does. Pretty relaxed character, Victor.
I feel like you're right, buddy. If you look around the court here with all 4 players, I can see Victor having a very bright future. Not that I'm from IMG spotting or recruiting players at the moment, but if I was, I'd keep an eye on him.
You've definitely got an eye for talent, Matty. There's no doubt about that. You spotted a few.
Great Rob Daly.
Spotted a sprightly young 47-year-old that you thought had a bit of a future, and took me under your wing. Took me off to Las Vegas for the World Championships before I'd even.
Was that your second or third game ever when you came out with the Aussie Crocs?
I think it was my third, and I did have to ask you to produce an official letter of invitation.
That's right. Family obligations.
Jane wasn't too believing that I'd be invited to the World Championships in Las Vegas after just playing a sport once, and probably thought there was some ulterior motives there.
Does sound a touch suspicious, doesn't it? Las Vegas doesn't help the cause at all, I'm sure.
It might have been easier if it was in Spain, but here we go. Let's see if Guillaume and Joel can get into this.
Here we go. Like the boys firing up here. Talked about the passion. Fists are out.
They need that energy.
Let's go.
So love 15, so they've got a chance. Now this is the corner that
it's infectious.
Guillaume's been having that trouble with. We know where Victor's serving. He's going to keep it in that spot, I think, until it becomes a problem. Oh, look at that. Oof.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Incredible work from Joel there. Bit upset with himself. He did all the hard work.
Roberto just keeping it alive. I think Victor had almost given up on that one. He's a quick fella, Roberto.
Much you can do when Victor comes rolling in with a lower lob there, Rob. It's pretty much game over.
It is game over, isn't it? He's got a huge overhead. So we've got 30-15, and that's 40-15. So can't quite make the inroads that they're after. The Blondies, they just can't get their nose in front on Victor and Roberto's serve, which is what they need to do.
Positive exchange there, though, from the guys.
So we've got 40-30. It is, you don't quite feel as safe in paddle at 40-30 with the golden point when you're leading.
Just a couple of unforced errors there, Rob. It's cost them that game. That was a pretty important game, I think.
It was a 2-all, so they've got to just keep holding serve and hoping that at some stage Victor and Roberto drop their level a little bit, but hasn't been any sign of it yet. They're playing at an incredibly high standard. Slid a little bit off the glass. That was a great smash from Joel. I've got to say, Matty, doing a phenomenal job of eating your falafel and hummus wrap without interfering with the broadcast.
Relying upon you in the breaks there, Rob, to keep the good times rolling without me. So I really appreciate this volley exchange here.
Oof.
Wow, what a stretch from there.
just long there. So we've got 15 all. Getting a little bit frustrated, Joel. He's got to keep it together.
Picks that ball up so well. Oh, wow.
Oh. Oh, gee.
Really frustrating. Jeez, he's a good partner to have, isn't he, Roberto? He's just keeps the pressure on, applying more and more pressure. Than Victor steps in, and they call him the finisher for a reason. Comes in and takes care of business at the right time. But Roberto's robotic-like with those, just pushing those volleys deeper and deeper, forcing half volleys out of the players.
He is. He's pretty amazing. I don't think we've seen an unforced error from his racket yet.
Massive smash again. That's been the difference, I'd say, Rob, in this match so far. All the boys have incredible skills, but when he pulls the trigger, which is difficult to do in these wet conditions and can hurt you, he's just been brave with that and has a skill level to do it.
So we've got 2 break points here. That's 1 saved. Victor nearly ran that down. That would have been incredibly impressive.
I think Game's taken a note out of Victor's book and said, I'm just going to hit a few as well.
Yeah,
he's got on the left side, ready to hit them, but he's got a lefty with him as well. That's a nice shot.
That's a good pick up, gee. Important point. Don't want to go down 2 breaks here. Switching sides, getting back to their natural sides here. And just working him over in the corner. Good job. So we've got a golden point, Matty, and I think it'd be fair to say this is a big point in the context of the match. 2 all.
They're not that far out of it, are they, Rob? I felt like we're, well, maybe I was riding them off a little bit too early here, but Game and Joel might get a head of steam up here.
So Victor's called it. He's gonna have the return, and bigger point for Joel and Guillem.
Sure is.
They need to play this well, and they have. Oh,
it's done.
Just climbed over the fence.
Really good play from the boys. Positive play. Deep volley into the corner. Rob, then both giant of men on top of the net. They're not short, that's for sure. So tough to lob them deep in the corner, and either party could have taken care of business there, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So they've done what they needed to do there. They've held serve. Just keeping the advantage in the set, putting that little bit more pressure on Roberto and Victor as the set goes on. 3-2, still reasonably early, but you'd always prefer to be out in front and serving second. The rain's continuing to fall, unfortunately. We still have a pretty just persistent drip.
Doesn't bode well for the outside courts of the Aussie Open, but there are 4 stadiums there now, Rob, that are indoor. I think there's 4, 3 or 4.
There are. I'm pretty sure 4 now they've got, so they'll get
through some matches still.
They will.
It's 11 a.m. this morning.
And starting the day earlier as well.
That's true. That was one of the reasons why, I think, wasn't it?
Well, it gives you that buffer, doesn't it? It means you don't have to play catch up too much if you get a wet day.
Roberto to serve here.
He's tracked that down well. Oof.
Worth the chase from.
That might be the first one
Joel.
that Victor's missed. So love 15. Here we go. Oh, wasn't quite ready. Going to go again.
Checking on his partner.
No issues from Roberto. Pretty cool customer. lob well, and here we go, Matty. Love 30.
Let the roller coaster begin, Rob. This could
Created
be what the fans wanted.
First time they've had this opportunity. Created the chance. Let's see what they can do.
It's a great lob from there.
Oof.
God, hits that ball so well.
Not sure what you can do against that. That wasn't a bad lob.
The advantage, Rob, of jumping in the air and crossing like that is the opposing diagonal, Guillaume, is out of position and not ready to run forward. Very clever surprise tactics. Ball was just long. Roberto serving. Guillaume's backhand. Joel with a whip up the line. That's incredible. Oh, wow.
Defense. Joel got the shot he wanted. He'd done everything right. That's an incredible effort to just dig that out and keep it that low over the net.
Rob, the ability to have that go past you, which you and I just clap when that happens normally, to go back, get it, and re-flick it back cross court is unbelievable from there.
It is, and keep it low as well, which is also amazing. Like gee, it's a good play.
It's really good.
Turn this around from love 30, 40-30 now.
It's a good example there again, Rob, where it's not pace, it's just positioning of the ball with the spin.
Yeah, super
it trumps
composed.
Pace every time, these guys.
They're a super composed pair, aren't they? Don't look flustered at all, and they've got the job done there again.
Got out of jail there, Rob. And that's why they've come all this way to Australia to pick up the points, showing the quality out here this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Bit of a laugh.
Yeah, having fun out there as well. I'd be having fun if I could play like that, Matty. I think probably.
Nice little paycheck coming too, potentially here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll pay for the
on.
flights. It's a good volley. Guillaume's working hard. He's picked up his game a little bit, I think.
I think so too. Yep.
He's got a bit more aggressive, and
let's not forget it's 3-3 here. We're nowhere near done here in this match. Just anything could happen still.
Absolutely. They had chances in that last game, so they just.
Joel's made a couple more errors lately, I've noticed. The game's buttoned down pretty well at the moment, but I feel like the lefty has to take a few risks at this stage.
Oh, again, amazing volleying from Victor.
Took a risk, Sam Guillaume, and Victor was up to the task. Saw it coming and just knocked it back behind him. No chance for his partner to pick it up. Wow, that's rare.
Yeah, he hasn't done too many of those. He hasn't been struggling with that little corner as much as some of the other players today. We've got 30 all here, so they just need to hang in there, I think. And that's a good way to do it. Lovely little Chiquita.
Lapse in concentration here from Victor. He's got room in the budget though after producing about 8 or 9 clean smashes at the moment, Rob. Oh, there's that corner again. I think it's really got to him there.
Yeah, they've all been struggling with it a little bit. Victor has sort of made it look quite easy until that last game, last two points. We're set up for an interesting finish to this set. It'd be nice to see this one go to 3, Matty. I don't want to pick a favourite. Both seem like lovely guys from both pairs, but we would like to see a big close final here if we can.
Be terrific, Rob. I want to see the fight in the Sydney guys, actually. Took out the Sydney guys, the Backstreet Boys. See them in action.
They weren't challenged too much in Sydney, were they?
No, they're a cut above in Sydney.
They've had a couple of close ones here, including in the semi-final. They were down a break in the third set, so they've obviously got a fair bit of fight there. And they also had a close quarter-final as well against a really talented French pair, Vincent and Rune, who were very impressive. That was 6-6, but super close. So Victor will be happy to be up that end. Oh, he's an incredible reach. He's a big fella. Oh,
just lost sight of it for a second there.
He did a fraction.
Quite smart from Guillaume going line. It's hard to do it, but that's on the rise, Rob.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I've seen you hit that shot a few times on the rise, just punching it down the line. Takes a fair bit of coordination, that's for sure. Wow, Victor's just taken over again. Anything right above tape height, Victor just dispatches of very quickly.
He does, yeah. You can't let any of those defensive shots drift to chest high, can you, against these guys at this level? The moment it gets up there, there's absolutely no problems from them. Incredible pick up there from Joel. Chase that one down. Guillaume, oh. And
here we go, boys.
Point. Look at this.
Crowd firing up a bit, and why wouldn't you? First time Victor, I think, has strayed with the strength of the smash, and it's put it on Joel's racket. Smiles all around here.
Yeah, just through the legs, no problems at all. Not an issue there. Oh, he's...
That was a huge point, Rob.
Yeah, maybe got a little bit too
one of the cross.
Carried away after the tweener.
Don't mind it though. Positive intent again.
Don't mind it at all. You can see Roberto recognising as well that that was a big point, and the first show of emotion from him, from the baby-faced assassin. He had and a good volley as well. So he's really closed out that game well. And we go to 4-all.
Geez, that was a good opportunity there for the boys. They're up and about after knocking off Victor's smash, short smash. Presented an opportunity for Joel to take care of business. 4-all. Joel serving. Game with the Bahada here. That ball's really dropping at the moment there. Wow, that's nice. Joel's decided to hit a half volley and absolutely ripped it. Absolutely ripped it. Catherine style there. Wow, that's a great volley. That's clutch.
It's lovely. Just taking the game on a little bit more now. And Joel.
Partner approves. It's an unbelievable lob from Roberto. What skills he's got.
Just drifting along there.
Just quick on the net there. Game following up on the old 1-2. Knifing the volley middle. Making Roberto hit up.
And oh, it's just popped over.
It's literally a millimetre in that. Just shows the power of that wrist. Max would appreciate that. Max from Finland. Unbelievable.
Chauvel, the golden wrist. Oh, has he missed
long.
That? He has.
Just long. That's
long.
game.
Good call. You were You're right on that one, as usual, Matty. Hawkeye.
3D for us here, Rob.
No need for Hawkeye when you got Matty Burrell in the commentary booth next to you.
Look, this is setting up to be an incredible finish here, Rob. It's 5-4 on serve. It's been dramatic out here. It's been 4 seasons. It's been a lot of emotion, and I can just feel the blonde boys picking up a bit here now.
Yeah, a bit of a
feel the energy.
Bit of a shift in the energy, you think?
I can feel the energy, Rob. Don't need a Geiger counter to feel that.
No,
it's happening.
You learn
Boys
to sense that type of thing when you're from the hinterland region. It's just those subtle shifts in the energy, and it'll be interesting to see. You've called it, so.
Look, I'll give you an example of it. Game's up and about. He's not sitting down, for example, in the break of ends. He's up and about. He's alert, and he's sniffing an opportunity here to steal this set.
Absolutely. He's the most experienced player on court as well. He's the ripe old age of 26, playing with 3 20-year-olds. You'll be seeing if he can
manifest.
Just use that experience to his benefit. He might manifest something. He might be right.
That's a disappointing start, Joel. A bit unhappy with himself there.
Yeah, he wants to make that one, doesn't he?
Yep. We've really got to lock it down now. That's a fault. Just going to see what Kane does here. He's all smiles right now. Lovely flat return. As you'd expect, all the lobs going. Wow. Oh, it was open too for the easy flick for Guillaume, a man of his talent. Wouldn't normally flick that. Bit of pressure going at the moment as well here, Rob.
Yep.
Big crowd. A lot of points and money on the line here.
Yeah, absolutely. 30 love.
Can't believe he missed that game. He's got that all day, every day normally, and set it up perfectly. Oh, wow, it's good. Oh, he's missed that one too.
I know they got away with one a little bit there.
I'm surprised Victor didn't club that ball, but he sensed the boys coming forward to take care of it if he did, so he restrained himself very thoughtfully. 40 love here, Rob.
Yeah, I'd say that one's going out. So very easy hold, Victor and Robert. That's exactly what they wanted. They didn't want to feel the pressure down 5-4. They shut the door pretty firmly there. So the pressure shifts back and it looks like new balls. Phil, the referee, drifts out onto court. Hands them over. Guillaume just wearing them in a little bit, giving him a smash into the corner.
Got the Empower women in paddle session starting now. The event, Rob.
We do, yeah.
Court 3 over here.
Absolutely, that's great to see. Pep
30 or 40
Stoner from
Australia's finest women paddlers up and about here.
No, it'll be great. Sounds like they sold out pretty early for this one, which is fantastic. I chatted a little bit about that earlier. Pep runs an amazing event there, getting more and more women and girls into the sport. She's very passionate about it and does an incredible job.
She definitely does. Love 15 though, Rob. This is an ideal start.
Oh,
Charles missed the smash there.
That's
that could be a costly error at this stage of the set and match.
Absolutely. There's a real opportunity here now. I don't think Roberto has missed a single shot all match, so I'm going to assume he's going to make them play. And you're welcome, Roberto.
Classic Rob Daly there.
I'll park the opinions for a second and just get on with saying it as I see it, Matty.
Oh, lovely flat return from Victor again.
Just 15-30. Oh,
just floated that nicely.
Did that is a little bit unlucky there. Poor Joel. He copped the net cord. And we've got 15-40. 3 break points. And it only took 1.
Joel spraying it wide. A couple of unforced have crept in here. He's thrown his racket on the court for now. A bit disappointed himself. That's a little disappointing right now, not just for the fans and the commentary box, but for the players too.
So we're going to have Robert, Roberto, and Victor serving for the championship. In just a second. This a pretty phenomenal effort to come out just for Melbourne, playing against people that have already acclimatised for a little bit longer, played up in Sydney, had a bit of time to practice, bit of a break, whereas they pretty fresh off the plane, but they haven't put a foot wrong since coming here, haven't dropped a set yet.
They haven't, Rob, and also I did have a chat to the boys just before the final, asked them why they skipped Sydney, do a little fact checking, it's a new concept in the commentary box here, and they said family first, always.
Yep.
And they want to be with the family over Christmas and New Year's.
Oh, good on them.
So that's refreshing to hear.
It is, that's great. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
It was to
Victor's
no
firing
avail,
up a
but
bit now.
phenomenal pickup.
Unbelievable pickup.
Oh, that's great. Matty, did you happen to ask them if they were heading over to the Middle East after this, or have they got another tournament that they're doing on the back of it, or are they just happy to come out to Australia? And
you know what he said is it depends on the result of this in terms of what they're doing, because it's wow. It's
they are on fire.
They get the points from this, Rob. It makes their trajectory or pathway going forward makes a big difference, and their reputation obviously as winning a FIP silver. So it's a fresh road ahead if they get these next 2 points.
Well, they are only 2 points away from 62 FIP ranking points, and the opportunities that'll open up for them. You never know in this game, but it is hard to see a way out for Joel and Guillaume. And especially now, as that brings up 3 championship points, Matty. And you know it's getting to a serious point in the match when Matt Burrell puts down the blueberry muffin and puts his full attention on match point.
And that's it, Rob. That's it. What a fantastic effort from Victor and Roberto. Great effort. Almost faultless performance from good mates too, having a hug. Love to see that.
No, that's great. That was
outplayed, Rob. Generally outplayed. Wasn't that close in the end. Never got going the Guillaume and Joel, but fantastic, well-deserved victory.
Yeah.
Geez, Roberto was solid, wasn't he? Absolute great partnership, these guys. Roberto set him up on almost every occasion, and Victor took care of business. Super solid as a rock. Besides that one unforced error you accidentally miscalled.
You could probably put that one down to me, I would have thought, but no, that was an incredible match, and what a performance from Roberto and Victor. They just, like you said, didn't put a foot wrong. Were so composed, so in control of the match. Really set up the points to play to their strengths. And unfortunately for Joel and Guillaume, it didn't eventuate. They've had a great campaign though out in Australia. That's a finalist and a winner is some good prize money, some good ranking points.
You got 99 points, Rob, out of that. Winner 62, final 37, 99 my maths is okay. 99 points. Not a bad haul coming down under 4.
That's a big haul.
Roberto's over here now. Thumbs up. Calling the family, I'd imagine, or coach maybe over in Spain. Giving the good news. It's a big deal when you're breaking through. If you're 20 years old and looking to make an impact going forward, these tournaments at this level is a huge deal.
Yeah, this might be their first win at this level as well, Matty. I know they've definitely played in a lot of FIP Rise events. Name's changed a little bit this year to the FIP Silver, but they, yeah, if this is their first win, it's well worth the trip down to the other side of the world.
Yeah. Super happy. And why wouldn't you be? Looks a little disappointed over there, Guillaume.
Yeah.
But he's a good bloke. He'll bounce back, Rob, and he'll be hopefully back next year. And we'll just grow and grow and grow from here. Looks like Roberto's doing Spanish interviews right now.
Yep, straight to the press.
Press
Madrid
appointments.
press.
We'll be doing a presentation here in a second, Rob. Got your 15-minute speech prepared, I'd imagine.
Not sure if I'm going to be called upon for that one, Matty. I generally tend to avoid that sort of responsibility and palm that off to some of the others, but we'll see how we go.
I did have the honour of giving away the runners-up and winners' trophies in Sydney for the female category, which was an absolute pleasure to the English ladies. And I think I'll take a backseat role this time as well. Prefer to be back here. Having a head for radio, it makes more sense than a behind the scenes, not in front of it.
Absolutely.
And we let the big dogs of Padel Australia get out there.
Yep.
Nick Eads out there with a quick little shout out also to Michael Jackson, the tournament director there. You'll see him in screen with the Wilson table in view. Michael manages and runs a quite large coaching operation and TV and business operation in Picton and Campbelltown in Sydney, just out of Sydney, and does a terrific job each year administering these events with Phil obviously as a referee.
Yeah, he does.
So it's been real quite smooth despite all the storms and other fun stuff we've had today, Rob.
Yeah, it's been a very well ran tournament, Matty. It's all gone off smoothly. They do a great job there. The guys, Michael, and Phil, and Nick, they've been fantastic. Been putting in long hours.
They have, and your staff too here, Rob, including yourself. Haven't seen the wife lately, I'd imagine.
No.
Can you reintroduce yourself tonight to her?
Absolutely. No. Looking forward to
Bit of family time.
Bit of family time.
You take a break after this?
We'll take a little bit of a break. I might be doing a little bit through the AO with some of the Red Bull events, some of the exciting ones coming up. So there's still a bit of paddle left in January for me, but it's it's always good to get to the end of these tournaments and have them run smoothly and go off without a hitch, and hopefully a good experience for the players more than anything. That's the objective always, is to give both the international and local players a fun time, and hopefully we've managed to do that.
I think in this day and age, all the events should be player focused, Rob. That's all that really matters in the end. They come back the following year or they don't. So look after the players first, I'd imagine, is the key to running events in this day and age. And everyone seems pretty happy around here from a player perspective, especially those who won.
Absolutely.
Here comes the music.
Yep.
Dancing's about to start. Rob, are you known for a bit of a couple of moves on the dance floor, or?
Oh, look.
Back in the day?
Back in my day, Matty, there was
Bit of a worm going on?
Might have had one left and one right foot back in the day, but I seem to have...
I would have thought you would have been with Vanilla Ice worming around a bit.
No, the young fella can execute quite a sharp worm, which is good. You got to pass these things on to the next generation. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My son too, Blue, has been known to pull out the worm move. I'm not sure if they're teaching that at school as part of the curriculum these days in Victoria and New South Wales, but it seems to have made a comeback.
Well, that's good. That's good news for everyone. I think it's a very important life skill, that one. I don't think I'd be getting back up if I tried to pull that one off. There's not quite the same flexibility through the spine.
No, I need a couple of Voltarans to attempt the worm this day and age too, Rob. Well, we might wrap it up about now. I think we'll keep the, we won't commentate the giving out the medals, will we, Rob?
No,
That might be going a little bit too far.
No, I think
we do like the sound of our own voice, but that's even for you and I, touch over the top potentially.
It is. I think people have probably heard just about enough of us today, Matty, but it's been good fun. It's good fun sitting with you and watching some of the paddle. So thanks again for all of your efforts this week, mate. You always do a great job at these events as well. You're a very humble man, but you put in a lot of work behind the scenes in making these ones happen and helping have that great experience for the players. So we really appreciate all of your work.
Thanks, Robbie. It's a pleasure. It's actually fun doing these events with all the good people around. But thanks for that. We'll wrap up now, and we'll leave the cameras rolling so we can see the presentation. And pleasure being part of the commentary team here. And we'll catch you all same time next year, no doubt.
Absolutely. 2026.
See you later, guys.
See ya.